Here is how you can create your own custom GPT. A lot of you have requested this video. Firstly, this is going to be in two parts. In this part, I'm going to create a custom GPT using the ChatGPT paid subscription. And in part 2, I'm going to show you how to create a custom GPT even if you do not have a ChatGPT paid subscription. Now this is going to be a basic training because I understand that not everyone is fluent in ChatGPT or GPT models, so I don't want this to be too overwhelming. I speak to so many people regarding ChatGPT and AI, and the common thing that I see is most of them want to start with the hardest thing first, instead of starting with the simplest task and then taking it from there. Let me put it to you like this. If you are learning how to swim, you will not jump head first into the deep end. You would first get your feet wet and then take it from there. Mind you, there are some people that will learn how to swim by jumping in the deep end first. But most people need to get their feet wet at first. Just another reminder that this will only work on the ChatGPT paid subscription. Now that I have that out of the way, let's get into it. Once in ChatGPT, we will click on the Explore button in the top left-hand corner. Then we will click on Create a GPT. Now this will open up the GPT Builder. Now straight away you will see two tabs. One says Create and the other says Configure. With Create, ChatGPT will help us and guide us every step of the way. Whereas with Configure, we can build the GPT ourselves without any help from ChatGPT. If you are just starting out, I would suggest starting with Create and going to Configure later. So for this example, let's create a real estate listings description generator. So all we did so far is we gave it what type of GPT we want to create. Now, as you can see, the first step is it wants to name the GPT. So here it is telling me, how about naming this GPT Property Pros? Does that sound good to you? Now, I don't like that name, so I'm simply going to ask it to give me some other alternatives. Now, as you can see, it has given me 4 more examples: estate scribe, listing linguist, realty writer, property wordsmith. So I'll just go with the 4th option, which is property wordsmith. So now it has given me a profile picture, and then it states, here's the profile picture for property wordsmith. Do you like it, or would you like to make any changes? So I'm happy with this. I'll leave it as is. Then it says, now let's refine the context for property wordsmith. To start, what specific features or aspects of real estate properties should property wordsmith always highlight in its descriptions? For example, should it always mention the location, size, amenities, or unique characteristics of the property? So I'm happy with that. So I will leave this as is. But before we carry on, I want to show you that on the right hand side, we have a preview tab. And as you can see, it has updated the profile picture and it has added in the title, and also it has given it a small description as well. And if I want, I can actually test this out as we go along. But I'm not going to do that now. We will try that later. So now I'm just going to state I am happy with your suggestions. Now remember, if you wanted to edit this, you could edit this as well. Then it states, great, I'm glad to hear that you're happy with the features I've suggested. Next, let's discuss how Property Wordsmith should interact with users. How detailed do you want the property descriptions to be? Should it provide concise summaries, or would you prefer more elaborate and detailed descriptions? So now I'm just giving it some further instructions. I am stating I want a mixture of both. My main aim of the description is to get someone to view the listing and actually contact the real estate agent. Now GPT Builder responds, now let's consider what Property Wordsmith should avoid. Are there any topics, types of language, or approaches that it should steer clear of when generating property descriptions? This could include avoiding overly technical terms, speculative language about property values, or anything else you think is important. Now, I don't know anything about real estate, so I'm simply going to go with whatever it has suggested. So I am just saying it should avoid overly technical terms and speculative language about property values. Now GPT Builder has responded and it says, finally, how would you like Property Wordsmith to communicate? Should it have a formal and professional tone or a more conversational and friendly style? This will help in tailoring its responses to fit the desired interaction with users. So now I'm simply going to say friendly and add in some humor. So GPT Builder has responded again, and now it says the Property Wordsmith is all set up and ready to go. You can try it out on the playground, which is a separate chat dialog to the right. Feel free to test it with some prompts and let me know if there are any refinements you'd like to make. What do you think of the GPT's performance? Now I can use this as is, and I can even test it out here to see if it is working. But now I want to head over to the Configure tab. So as you can see, when I click on the Configure tab, now it has added in the name, it has added in the description. Now if I want to elaborate on the description, I can add that here. If I want to change the name, I can change it here. And here I can see the custom instructions that it has been given. And this was all generated by ChatGPT. Now if I want to refine this, I can actually do this here. And thereafter below that, you can see conversation starters. So the first one states, describe a house with a large garden. So these have been pre-populated. Now what are conversation starters? So if you look to the right, as you can see here, there are 4 conversation starters. So the first one says, describe a house with a large garden. The second one says, how should I list a downtown apartment? And then the third one, write a listing for a beachfront property. Suggest a description for a historic home. Now I can leave this if I want, or I can remove them by just deleting them from here. So I'm actually going to delete them. So now I have no conversation starters. So if I scroll down, the next thing is I can upload files. So if I have a knowledge base and I want it to work off that, I could actually upload it here. So this could be a PDF, it could be a Word doc, or any other type of document. And then it will use that as a reference to answer the questions. Then below that we have capabilities. So the first one is web browsing. Do I want that to be turned on? If I have that turned on, then whenever someone is interacting with the chat will be able to browse the web. And then the second option is, do I want it to have DALL-E image generation? Now, if I want users to be able to generate images, I will leave that on, but I don't think I will need people to generate images for a real estate listing, so I'll turn that off. Then code interpreter, if I had some type of code and I wanted to analyze the code, etc., I can turn this on, but I will leave that off for now. And thereafter, actions. Now, I'm not going to do actions because that is more technical. And as I stated in the beginning, this is just for beginners. So I'm just showing you a brief and quick example of how you can generate GPTs really quickly. And the reason why I'm showing you a quick tutorial, because I want you to start playing around with it and create some GPTs. And as you create more, then you can add more and more features as you go along. Don't go immediately and try to add all of the features all at once. Start playing around with it, create simple GPTs. Then as you get more and more familiar with it, you can add more and more features to it. So now that I'm happy with that, I can click on the save button. As you will see, there is a drop down on the save, and then I have 3 options. So the first one is I can publish it only for me. So I will only be able to use this GPT. The second one is only people with a link. So I can create it and only people that I send the link to will be able to use it. And then the third one is public. So once I put it in public, anyone will be able to access it. So if you want to make money with it, if you want to put it on the GPT store, it will have to be set to public. And then the more people that actually use it, that is how you can start generating money from that. So I'm just going to put this out in the public. I'm going to say confirm. And now it is created and I can start using it. So now let's test it out. So for this example, I'm just going to go to a real estate agent. And for this example, I'm going to use ChatGPT Dubai. As you can see, this is a really expensive penthouse in Dubai. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to create a description for my listing, and here are the details. Now I will need to get the details, so I will go back to ChatGPT. I will get the title and the price, then I will paste that in here. I'll just state that this is the price. Thereafter I can get more details. Then I will copy the address and I'll add in the address here. Then they have an overview here, so I will copy all these details as well, and then I will paste it in here. And features, it has some features here as well. So I'll copy all of the features. And then I'll paste the features in as well. And then lastly, I want to add in the contact details. Because you remember, we asked it to get someone to want to contact the real estate agent. So I'm just going to copy the details here, paste it in here. So I'll just neaten this up. And then once I'm happy that I've got all the information, then I can just click on send message. Now, as you can see, in seconds, we have a detailed property listing description. Now, this is actually pretty good. Welcome to a world of unparalleled luxury and breathtaking views. And it further states, exquisite living space, amenities that redefine indulgence, uncompromised convenience, scenic splendor, prime location, your next chapter awaits. So it clearly understands that this is for a luxury penthouse. Now, right at the bottom, it is encouraging the reader to actually contact the real estate agent by giving it the info, which is what we wanted it to do. So as you can see, in a short while, we managed to create our own custom GPT. And if you want to test this GPT out, I will actually leave the link to it in the comments below. Let me know what you think of GPTs and also share the GPTs that you have created. I would love to see them. And don't forget to subscribe and follow for part 2, where I will be showing you how to create a custom GPT even if you do not have a ChatGPT paid subscription. This is just my AI avatar jumping in. I just wanted you to subscribe to this channel and also hit the like button if you found this useful. I share AI content on other platforms as well. What do you think of my AI avatar? Would you like to see a tutorial on how to create your own AI avatar just like this? Just let me know in the comments below. Until next time, this is my AI avatar signing out.